Hi, my name is Monse Garcia. I'm in the International Administration program with a concentration in human rights and humanitarian assistance. I'm primarily interested in working in nonprofit or government human services with diverse international populations like women or minorities. I chose the International Administration program because I wanted a degree that would equip me with the skills I need to run a nonprofit or to run a team, manage a team of people. I really liked how it had a focus not just on the nonprofit sector but also on the government. We have to take an international studies core, which means that we are well versed in international theory, but we also have a public sector core and a nonprofit sector core, which I think is really good for me because I'm interested in both sectors, so I didn't want to just pigeonhole myself into one of those two, and I'm interested in both. My schedule is a little different, I think, than most students. On top of being a full-time student here, I also work and I also have an internship, so I have a lot of outside obligations in addition to my schoolwork. Usually I take 3 to 4 classes per quarter. Usually the fourth one is either for 2 to 3 credits, usually a lower amount of credit hours, or for no credit at all. In addition, I guess a normal day for me would be wake up at 8 a.m., have work from like 8 to noon, half-hour lunch, and then go to class. And then after class, go to my internship, or if my class is in the evening, then I'll just work half the day, go to my internship the other half, and then go to class from 6 to 9. So that's a typical day for me. I think as an admin student, you think that because the courses are going to be more skills-based, that the workload for the reading might be a little less than, say, in national security courses. That's actually not true at all. And if anything, the homework is more work-based. So you might have to, for example, my nonprofit management class, we actually have to create a budget for a nonprofit organization here in Denver. Another example is we have to write a grant proposal for an organization in Denver. They call it service learning, so we're actually going out to the Denver community for our course load for our homework. That being said, I still have substantial reading. Last week for one of my 4 classes, I had to read 5 chapters and then 150 pages from this textbook. And then last quarter I had one class, one professor that required me to read an entire book by the next week. So the reading is substantial. My favorite paper topic so far, I'm only in my 2nd quarter, so I know that I'm a little limited in my choices, but last quarter I was in a humanitarian assistance course, topics in field operations, and my final paper was basically analyzing the humanitarian assistance delivery in Rwanda during the 90s. This was my favorite paper so far because I was really passionate about the issue, and it was really enlightening to kind of research and go in and I found some unexpected things, which is always good. You're learning about things that you thought you already knew about. I also really liked it because I was able to, in my research, I was able to exemplify how human rights can converge with humanitarian assistance, and often, even though they can converge, at times they can also diverge, and you have to kind of learn how to manage that difference between the two. I intend, after graduation, to work here in the United States, which I think makes me a little different than most of the Korbel students. That being said, I do want to work with international or diverse populations, which is why I'm primarily focused on maybe staying here in Denver or going back to Texas, where I'm from. There's tons of diversity both here in Denver and in Texas, and I would love to. My dream job, of course, would be to work for UNIFEM, but that's my fantasy. And my advice to incoming international administration students is first, know what you're passionate about. Come to the Korbel School knowing what you want to study and why. That's probably the most important part of why you're so interested in this. Second, though, and on the other hand, don't pigeonhole yourself. I originally came into the Korbel School as in international studies, and then once I got here and I saw the courses, and I became more familiar with the different programs, and I also, through my work and course load, I also became more definitive about where I wanted to go and who I felt I wanted to be through my work. I switched to the admin program. So on the one hand, know what you're passionate about, but on the other hand, don't feel limited. Don't limit yourself. Don't come in with a mindset saying, I'm going to be national security advisor, and this is what I need to do, and I have 2 years to do it. Do feel some leeway to kind of explore where your interest is and what you're passionate about.